think? Do you think there should be something in our schools, some that would counterbalance this thing?
The thing is, the youth of today, or rather from a young age, what we fail to do is that develop a social bonding, a bonding between the society and the child. You cannot live in isolation. You are living within that society. So the social problems of your society should be very much in the minds of children. So when once again we come to the same point, when we are raising children, rather a little bit selfish children, who are only worried about themselves or concerned about themselves, which is why the youth of today is not as vibrant as we would like them to be about the social issues surrounding them.
If like I want to fulfill my dream, shouldn't I be selfish about it? Wouldn't that selfishness help me? Like not caring about my environment and just going ahead for what I want.
No, you see, then again we are saying that, you see, to attain a dream, it's the negative way of looking at it, that to attain a dream you should become a selfish person. I would not say that, but you can keep on pursuing your dream with focus and be selfless, in the sense that be aware of the social ills around you and be able to do something towards that as well.
We need to learn how to blend our social norms and social expectations with what we want to do.
Exactly.
We need to find a middle path.
Okay. We need to be strong about it.
Well, on that note, I think we should end today's session. Before I wind up, I would like to ask all of our viewers, if you have any ideas, any comments, any suggestions regarding the topic, regarding today's topic, please send us your video clips on eSouthAsia2010@gmail.com. You can also see the address on the screen, and we'll try and link it or incorporate it with today's program. One more thing, before I end this program, I would also like to tell you why we came up with this concept of Beautiful Minds. Why this title? I was talking to a friend of mine, and he mentioned this place in Dhaka, old Dhaka, during the 50s and 60s. It was called beauty boarding. It was a strange name for me. It turned out that this was a place in old Dhaka which was the hub of all the top intellectuals and poets, writers, scholars, filmmakers and singers. They would gather there, and a lot of ideas would come out of it. It was a place where beautiful minds would get together. So I talked to Dr. Abdul Noor Tushar in Dhaka. He's the president of Bangladesh Debate Federation and advisor of eSouth Asia. And I asked him what the history of beauty boarding and what it subsequently led to. So let's listen to Dr. Tushar, and with that, till next time, I'm Banazza Siddiqui.
Dr. Tushar, tell me something about Old Dhaka beauty boarding. I believe it was a place where intellectuals, artists and filmmakers used to get together, a sort of coffee house.
Exactly. Beauty boarding was basically not only a coffee shop, it was a Bangladeshi kind of a restaurant where you could find Indian and Hakaya food. And in that place, the intelligentsia and intellectuals from 60s and 70s used to sit together. They used to discuss new literary forms, new ideas, politics, economics, everything. And from beauty boarding, we found many prominent writers, politicians, philosophers, I would say thinkers of the past, who actually shaped the history of the Bangladeshi nation, culture, and some of them also went into politics.
Okay. I think as time changed, beauty boarding also kind of faded away. And but after that, we saw Abdullah Abu Said's World Literature Center, and you were a force behind that. So how was the rejuvenation of this Bengali culture through World Literature Center?
The World Literature Center was established in the 70s by Abdullah, who was a literary teacher of Dhaka College. He also had a of editing and reading literary movement called Kontoswar Andolan. And Abdullah Abu Said created the World Literature Center with a view to introducing international literature, culture, music to young Bangladeshi students, teachers, and people who are interested in culture and literary activities. I would say it's not the rejuvenation of beauty boarding, rather it's a continuation of the literary movement of the 60s, which was created around beauty boarding, and it continued into the new Dhaka through World Literature Center. And you would be glad to know that World Literature Center has a book reading program, which is the largest in the world, that 10 lakh, that is 1 million students, participate in reading classics, history, poetry, different kind of literary books, and they also compete in a competition where they sit for a test and they are being awarded books every year. And that is the largest book reading program with 1 million readers. World Literature Center, the Vishwa Sahitya Kendra, is leading this program, and Government of Bangladesh has also taken keen interest in this program. So World Literature Center is I would say a larger movement and a continuation of the heritage of beauty boarding.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tushar. Thank you.